Hello! My name is Kallista, and welcome back to the infectious madness of Doctor Dekker. In the last episode, we were speaking with Jaya, who was telling us that she was worried. She was worried about our safety. It seems that she feels that we might be going a little bit insane doing this job. You know what, I want to rewatch this, more so for myself. It's been a little while since I last recorded any Doctor Dekker.
You just seem a little different from the person who turned up all those weeks ago. You don't talk to me as much as you did. You flitter between patients in a daydream. Tell me what things are bothering you.
Yeah, Jaya is asking us to unburden ourselves onto her. Ooh. Yes, what's the news about Mariana? She did ask us to come and speak to her about her.
I've been reviewing your files. I know, I'm sorry, a bit naughty, but have you considered that Mariana may have murdered Dr. Dekker because of the money she owed him? She had most to gain. She got all the money if he died, and it makes most sense, doesn't it?
Jaya thinks Mariana's motive might be money. Money is a good motive. And, I mean, Mariana got £15,000. That is an awful lot. People have been killed for less. However, I've been saying this, Mariana, she doesn't have an alibi. She saw Elin on the beach, so she is kind of corroborating Elin's alibi. And if Elin couldn't have made it, back to the surgery and, all of that, then it's highly unlikely that Mariana would have been able to make that trip. However, no one saw Mariana on the beach. So it's kind of iffy. I'm not too sure about Mariana, to be brutally honest. Out of all of the patients, I'm discounting Nathan and Elin because they both have rock solid alibis. Nathan was talking to an archaeologist all night, Elin was on her date, and the cab company confirmed her alibi. Jaya, Bryce, and Claire, they have no alibi at all. Mariana has a partial alibi. And out of Jaya, Bryce, and Claire, I'm inclined to say that Claire is the most likely. Claire has a history of attacking people with sharp objects. She stabbed David with a knife. She then cut his head off with an axe. Dr. Dekker was stabbed with a paper spike, which she had a really odd comment about. So out of these three, I think Claire she's currently at the top of my list. We might learn something in Act 5, though, that might change my mind. I'm not really too sure. Now then, yes, so the news about Mariana, what else did we have? Do you think I'm going insane? To be brutally honest, I think we're going insane. So if Jaya says, yeah, I'm not going to be all that offended.
Who measures sanity or insanity? One man's philosopher is another man's fool. I'm keeping an eye on you. I won't let you go crazy.
Oh, Jaya, thank you. Although there was an undertone there. I won't let you go crazy. So maybe this is harsh, you let Dr. Dekker go crazy. I'm not saying that to accuse Jaya. That's what her words hinted at. I think maybe she blames herself. I didn't keep an eye on Dekker, and he got so wrapped up with psychokinetics that he did go kinda insane. Yeah, how are you coping with the grief?
I think I'm okay with the grief now. My mother died suddenly, and I think I was projecting Dr. Dekker's death to be about her. I know they're not related.
Oh. Oh, I'm so sorry. Do you want to talk about this?
My mother died suddenly, like Dr. Dekker. For her, though, it was different. She burst into flames. I was 7. They said she must have been smoking and drinking on the sofa, but she doesn't smoke or drink. Professor Alderby said it was spontaneous combustion.
Flippin' heck. That is quite a way to go. I can't spell spontaneous. That kind of looks right. Combustion.
According to Professor Alderby, people can will themselves to die. Some people will have heart attacks, some people will have strokes. Those who are truly despondent, they're the rare few that spontaneously combust. I'm not sure if I believe in all of that.
That just sounds like blaming the victim. Oh, you had a heart attack? You willed yourself to have that heart attack. Bullshit. I think Professor Alderby's talking out of his arse there. And you said Dekker's prescription pad went missing.
Dr. Dekker's prescription pad is still missing. I'll let you know if it turns up.
To be fair, Elin said that she has it. Can we... Tell me about the death threats. That's right, Nathan said there were death threats on the prescription pad. I just want to go into what Elin was telling us, though, because I do remember this. Elin outright said, oh, I had to take the prescription pad because Dekker said he was going to take away my powers. At least I think that's what she said. I'm like 99.9% sure that was it, which I find interesting. I find that so interesting. Because Elin loved her powers. And earlier on in the game, I remember her telling me that, oh, Dekker said I was one of his special patients because I appreciated my abilities, and he would always complain to me about the patients who didn't appreciate what they could do. So I find it interesting that despite that, I guess Elin must have done or said something. Or maybe Dekker was having a harder time controlling her. And he decided, right, this has gone too far. You're a liability now. I'm going to take your powers. Which admittedly does give Elin a rather strong motive. She uses her powers to help her patients, and for all her faults, she is a very dedicated nurse, so that it gives Elin such a strong motive, but she also has an ironclad alibi. So it's like, ooh, new information that isn't going to go anywhere.
I didn't know anything about that. If I have any grievances with my employer, I spit in their coffee. I hope that's how you like it.
Jaya! The fuck have we done to her? We've been perfectly pleasant to you. Oh my god. Oh no. Can we file a complaint? Does Jaya have a supervisor? Can we file a complaint about that? Also, did you have any grievances with Dr. Dekker? Were you spitting in his coffee?
Don't become like Dr. Dekker. I think that somebody killed him because he was using them. There's some footage I can't show you because it would affect you too much. Suffice to say, when Mariana told him she could breathe underwater, he wanted the same power for himself. So instead of trying to cure her of it, he'd try and amplify it to see how it worked. so he could imagine it for himself. I think he did that with all his special patients. I think he wanted all of their powers. If you believe in that sort of thing.
I mean, I can see that. I agree with her there. I think he wanted his own little cult. And if he couldn't have his own little cult, then he could at the very least gain their powers. Ooh, I want to watch that again.
Don't become like Dr. Dekker. I think that somebody killed him because he was using them. There's some footage I can't show you because it would affect you too much. Suffice to say, when Mariana told him she could breathe underwater, he wanted the same power for himself. So instead of trying to cure her of it, he'd try and amplify it to see how it worked, so he could imagine it for himself. I think he did that with all his special patients. I think he wanted all of their powers. If you believe in that sort of thing.
What was it Mariana said? She felt like he was, metaphorically speaking, pushing her over a cliff. He was telling her, do it, do the thing, go right ahead. And she felt like she was falling and he was encouraging that. Oof. I do wonder what that footage is. Because to be blunt, the only thing I can think of is he was probably holding Mariana underwater. That's the only way you'd be able to test. Oh, you say you can breathe underwater? Let me try and drown you then. And watching an attempted drowning, that would be highly disturbing.
Any patient who presented with psychokinetic issues, they were his special patients. Towards the end, he began ignoring all the other cases. Most of the patients saw it as a curse, what they were experiencing, what they were unwittingly doing. Dr. Dekker saw it as an ability, a power to be harnessed and used for, well, God knows what he was going to use it all for. So we made them give in to it, and it consumed them, consumed all of them. Whether you believe any of that or not is your choice, but they did, which made them angry. And that's why I think he was murdered by a patient.
I also agree with that logic. Everything we have heard about Dekker, he wasn't a good doctor. Admittedly, Jaya could have killed him to protect the patients or to protect the reputation of the practice, but that would be my best guess. We haven't heard of any other grievance that Jaya had with Dekker, so it would be a guess. Everyone else, though, I can kind of pinpoint different things that they were pissed about. I don't want to deal with Mariana. Mariana scares the shit out of me, so we're gonna go for Nathan. Hello. You don't scare me. Have you been wearing the exact same clothes? Everyone else has been changing clothes. Has Nathan been wearing the exact same clothes this entire time and I just never noticed? Damn! Oh, Nathan. Nathan, that makes me sad.
I think you know who killed Dr. Dekker, so you're going to have a good day. Can we talk a bit about hypnotism, though?
Okay, achievement unlocked. Late shift. Thank you. I love that. I think you know who killed Dekker, do I? Do I? Like, I've narrowed it down to 3, I think. Okay, hypnotism. Hypnotism has a P. Hypnotism.
I've heard you can plant key words in people when they're hypnotized. How would I know if I had any? I think that the hypnotism didn't take, but maybe Dr. Dekker did hypnotize me, and it did work, and he told me to think that it didn't. I think I found one of the key words.
Okay, this is... If this were Bryce talking, I'd call this a delusion, but Nathan has been pretty stable throughout all of this.
I can't say what it is. I don't want to trigger it. I was on the phone to my dad last night, and he said something, and boom, I fell asleep. Normally I wish that kind of thing would happen, but it just happened. I phoned him back. I thought it was seconds, but it was an hour later. I asked him what he'd said. He'd watched some NASA program. He was reading off planets. It was one of them.
Okay. Oh, bugger, I don't know astronomy. I am god-awful with astronomy. Mars.
I don't want it to be triggered.
Okay then. Fair dues. You don't want it to be triggered, I won't trigger it.
I can't say what it is. I don't want to trigger it. I was on the phone to my dad last night, and he said something, and boom, I fell asleep. Normally I wish that kind of thing would happen, but it just happened. I phoned him back. I thought it was seconds, but it was an hour later. I asked him what he'd said. He'd watched some NASA program. He was reading off planets. It was one of them.
Okay.
No. Sorry.
Game, do you want me to trigger this poor man? Oh, God. Okay, Mars, Venus, that's how you spell Venus. Saturn. Oh! Oh, okay. I should tell Nathan he went into a trance. Oh, buddy, I'm so sorry. The game made me do that. I didn't want to. Trance.
So he did plant me with something. I have absolutely no idea. Did you find out what the key word is? What is it? No. Don't say it. Write it down for me. And thank you. You know, there's something I've not been telling you.
Hey, achievement unlocked, consultant. Lots of achievements this episode. Okay, something you haven't been telling me. I'm rather surprised he was thankful, considering he said he didn't want it to be triggered. I'm rather surprised that he was like, thank you for figuring it out, but oh, okay, Nathan. Okay, I like Nathan. Out of everyone, Nathan has been the least problematic, and I appreciate that. You know, having to deal with Bryce's delusions, Claire's psychotic rages, and Mariana, who is, you know, just basic lawsuit territory. I'm so glad that Nathan is here to calm me down.
I don't think I know about that. I hope you're keeping good notes, Doctor, because I'm as confused as hell.
Buddy, you're the one saying you've not been telling me stuff.
So he did plant me with something. I have absolutely no idea. Did you find out what the key word is? What is it? No. Don't say it. Write it down for me. And thank you. You know, there's something I've not been telling you.
Do you want me to write the exact thing?
Question after question after question. They're all meaningless, aren't they? That one is, anyway.
Game. Pardon? Am I Am I doing some basic spelling error that's going over my head? You know, fuck it. Let's look at this.
I think you know who killed Dr. Dekker, so you're gonna have a good day. Can we talk a bit about hypnotism, though?
I thought it might be that.
This might feel like the darkest timeline, but it's not my darkest timeline. I didn't kill Dr. Dekker. I look at one of your other patients, or maybe even your assistant.
Achievement unlocked, seeing things. Oh, I'm not liking all of these achievements because I don't know what they're for, so I'm like, pardon? Why? Pourquoi? Okay, Pluto, just randomly.
Pluto's not a planet, is it? And why are you even trying?
Excuse me, I think you'll find that Pluto has recently been reclassified and it is now a planet again. So fuck you, Nathan. Okay. What haven't you been... Oh, god damn it, game. Why? I don't... Fuck it, it's all good. Like, I'm right at the end. I'm more amused by this than pissed off at this stage. The game demands that you be stupidly precise at times.
It's about time travel.
Okay.
I read a book about time travel. I thought what was happening to me was a type of time travel. I couldn't control it, but at the end of each day, I would travel back in time to the beginning and live it over again. I'm like Doctor Who, but I don't have a TARDIS, and I can't choose what time I go to. Except once.
Oh.
The doctor said she was legally still alive. The only thing they could do was starve her. Hannah didn't die in the accident the first time around. It was worse than death. She wouldn't have wanted that. I was looking at a photo from around the time of the accident. I had a lot of alcohol, which I think was probably necessary. I jumped back to the junction. I started pulling out, but the lorry was already on us. I drove into the lorry to make sure. I didn't wake up in hospital. Because I woke up the next day, present day. Things had changed.
Oh. Oh, that is... I find that heartbreaking. I'm not angry at Nathan at all, as I find the idea of being in a permanent coma, you know, all they can do is let you starve to death. I find that horrifying. I find that completely and utterly horrifying. And if he was like, Hannah wouldn't have wanted that. Hannah wouldn't have wanted a slow, painful death. She would have wanted something quick. It's a terrible decision to have to make, but if that's what Hannah would have wanted, if Hannah would have been petrified at the thought of being, you know, effectively brain dead, but still breathing, then I can't, you know, I'm not like, oh, how could he do that? What an awful thing. I'm like, that's a terrible decision he made. And I guess on some level I respect it. You know, he prevented Hannah from suffering. If there was no other way he could change it, the lorry was already on them. All he could do was drive forwards to make sure. I'm not exactly saying he was doing a good thing. Because, you know, he did kill someone, technically. But if I guess if killing them prevented their suffering, it was a mercy. Oh my god, what the fuck? I don't like that. I don't like that in the slightest. Oh god. Oh, no, ignore it, Callista. Go back to what you were thinking about. Yeah, I guess it, in a horrific kind of way, I view that as a mercy. I think he did the right thing, but I don't think he did a good thing. Does that make sense? I guess I just feel horrifically for Hannah. What an awful way to die, stuck in a coma, being starved to death in a hospital room. That's... Ooh, that gives me the chills. I don't... Oh god, that... Damn. Question. Because I find it curious he's talking about time travel, because early in the game he told us he couldn't do that. I don't even know how I'd ask that, so, you know what, let's continue on with the orange stars. We can figure that out when we're doing the green.
The doctor said she was legally still alive. The only thing they could do was starve her. Hannah didn't die in the accident the first time around. It was worse than death. She wouldn't have wanted that. I was looking at a photo from around the time of the accident. I had a lot of alcohol, which I think was probably necessary. I jumped back to the junction. I started pulling out, but the lorry was already on us. I drove into the lorry to make sure. I didn't wake up in hospital, because I woke up the next day, present day. Things had changed.
I'm guessing, because Nathan, he mentioned, we found out that the male patient who is on trial is Nathan. Is he going through the court system? Because I would guess maybe Hannah's parents could be suing him or trying to charge him with some... I don't like the fact that you keep popping up, Molly. No, thank you. Yeah, I guess they could be trying to charge him with, like, criminal negligence because he drove into the lorry. That would be my guess. I don't know, though.
Her obituary changed in the press clippings I kept. It said she was killed instantly. Nothing else changed. Her family seemed to hate me more, which is ironic because the first time around, they pulled her off life support. So I saved them the indignity. Now they just think it was my careless driving that caused her death.
That's probably what they're trying to have him done with. Careless driving. Ooh, again, I just feel badly for everyone involved in this situation because taking her off life support, again, she was legally still alive, so yeah, you take her off life support, but she's gonna starve to death. That would take days. It wasn't like we take her off life support and she'll be dead in 5 minutes. That's a real Sophie's choice right there. There goes my timer. Yeah, that's a horrible, horrible choice. Ooh. And with that, I am just about out of time for this episode. In the next one, we continue on with Nathan. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below. And if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching and see you in the next episode.